The Hyundai Ioniq 9, or the mothership as I like to call it, we've been driving it for a few weeks now, and after watching pretty much every YouTube video about this car and now owning it ourselves in the unique performance version, I want to tell you whether all the bold promises and glowing reviews from the automotive press actually hold up in real life, or whether there's some disappointment hiding behind the flashy exterior. Enjoy the video! First, a bit about us. We're a family with 3 kids, no dog, but a serious need for space. We love traveling, we transport a lot of gear and children, and at 1.80 meters and 1.95 meters tall, we're both quite tall. Our kids aren't exactly small either, so it was clear that we'd need a large car again. If you know this channel, you'll know that we drove a Mercedes EQV for years, and we're actually quite happy with it. So why switch away from a German premium brand? Short answer, the car itself was good, especially the space. We would probably even have accepted the engine failure at 60,000 kilometers, which, fortunately, was covered by the extended warranty. Apparently, the issue was caused by not always engaging park at the end of a drive, but instead simply turning off the car, exactly how the Mercedes salesman showed us. This issue is well known online, and many engines have suffered the same fate. But that wasn't the reason we switched. The real reason was price and service quality at Mercedes, which was honestly embarrassing. So we sold the car. But the big question remained, what offers similar space? Enter the Ioniq 9. I don't want to repeat what 100 other reviews have already said. Yes, the design is unusual. Some love it, some hate it. Yes, it's huge, with almost identical dimensions to a V-Class, 7 centimeters shorter, but 5 centimeters wider. Yes, 2 2-meter-tall adults can sit comfortably behind each other, and even the third row is genuinely usable. And yes, Hyundai has truly arrived in the premium segment with this car. But the real question is, does it actually work in everyday life, or does it just look good on paper? And especially, is it worth the price? Let's take a closer look. I'm 6 feet 4 inches and can move the seat much further back than in the Mercedes V-Class. Headroom and legroom are fantastic, especially for tall drivers. The rear seats are also very comfortable, unless you're sitting in the middle seat of the second row. That seat is noticeably firmer, and because of the hidden cup holder mechanism, you can feel a plastic flap in your back. We solved that by reusing an insert from our old Maxi Cozy seat to make it more comfortable. The seat is usable, but we would have preferred a softer cushion. Then again, if you only need 2 seats in the second row, you'll probably go for the 6-seater with massage seats anyway. Seat quality overall is excellent, and the interior in general feels very high quality. That includes the panoramic roof, which I can highly recommend. It makes the cabin much brighter and is a big plus for kids. Behind the second row, you have 2 options. Either slide the seats forward to make room for 2 more passengers who can still sit comfortably on long trips, or use the large trunk. This is where the Ioniq 9 loses slightly to the V-Class, simply because the Mercedes is taller and a bit more spacious. But realistically, the V-Class only offers significantly more cargo space if you remove the rear seats, which is always a pain. Heavy seats, awkward rail systems, never fun. In the Ioniq 9, you just press a button and the seats fold away. Is the trunk still big enough? Short answer, yes. Groceries, crates, strollers, everything fits. However, the loading edge is relatively high, so lifting heavy strollers alone can be challenging. I'd strongly recommend getting a protective film for the rear bumper. Otherwise, it'll get scratched very quickly, especially when kids try to help. With all seats up, you still have enough space for 2 folding crates and everyday shopping. With the third row folded, you get a flat load floor. Fold the second row as well, and you can transport very long items. Fold the front passenger seat too, and you get maximum load length. Whether it's Lowe's or Home Depot, there's plenty of space. We love it. Pro tip: a trunk liner is worth it, even though it's overpriced for what it is. The mounting buttons are actually for a bumper protection mat. Useful, but we chose the separate protective film instead. Space comes at a cost. After years of driving an EQV and even a VW T4 before that, The Ioniq 9 feels the biggest, not because of its length, but because of its width. You notice it on narrow roads and especially when parking. Reverse parking works well thanks to cameras and sensors, but tight parking spots can still be stressful. We really love the remote parking function, which lets the car move forward or backward at the press of a button. That's perfect for tight garages. Of course, it doesn't help the driver of the car next to you on a public parking lot if they can't open their door. There's also an automatic parking system that recognizes spaces and parks the car, but it's quite slow and probably won't be used much in everyday life. Which brings us to technology. Some features are cool in theory, but less practical in reality. The parking assistant, for example, requires several confirmation steps on the screen and holding a button. In our first test, the car tried to correct itself 3 times and eventually gave up, in a perfectly normal parking space. Overall, the car offers a lot of smart features, but many are buried deep in menus. Seat settings are in the Home menu, not in Setup, which is confusing at first and can be distracting while driving. The built-in voice assistant is okay, but basic commands like close the trunk or open the frunk often result in this function is not available, which is disappointing. One area where Mercedes was clearly better is traffic sign recognition. The Ioniq 9 sometimes misreads speed limits, which isn't dangerous but can be annoying. You can mute the warning sound, but you have to do it every single drive, just like selecting drive mode or regeneration level. On the plus side, CarPlay works flawlessly. Many buttons are customizable, and there are still plenty of physical controls, which is great. Navigation is included for 6 months with My Hyundai Plus. After that, it costs about €3 per month. Understandable from a business perspective, but a flat rate option would be nice. We chose the unique performance version with 428 horsepower. Do you need that much power? Probably not. Is it fun? Absolutely. The difference compared to the lower-powered test car was massive. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 5 seconds in a car this size is impressive, and the all-wheel drive is a big advantage over the old EQV. Consumption so far? Around 21 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers in city and rural driving at 0 to 7 degrees Celsius. Very reasonable. That equals about 6 to 7 euros per 100 kilometers, which no combustion-powered competitor can match. Real-world range? Winter, approximately 500 kilometers. Summer, approximately 600 kilometers, even on large wheels. Charging is fast enough that long trips are no problem. A 30-minute charging stop is enough to cover about 800 kilometers in a day, which is perfectly fine. Kids love the massage seats, folding seats, and all the gadgets. We got our first muddy shoe on the light leather on the very first long trip. Recommendations: floor mats are a must. Light leather looks great but needs care. Seat protectors for child seats are essential. Cleaning is easy thanks to the space, and the 230-volt outlet in the trunk is incredibly practical. Vehicle-to-load and vehicle-to-vehicle charging are nice extras, though we haven't used them yet. The sliding center console doesn't work in the 7-seater version. The middle seat in the second row is firm. The digital rearview mirror takes getting used to. The electric tow hitch is expensive. Yes, the Ioniq 9 is expensive, but it's well equipped even in the base version, and real-world discounts matter. We got almost 13,000 euros off without negotiating. Running costs are significantly lower than a diesel van, saving roughly 2,500 euros per year. With warranty, financing options, and lower operating costs, the overall package makes sense. The Ioniq 9 truly is a mothership, or a spaceship, or a dream ship. It has its challenges, but for us, it's the perfect family vehicle. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like, and we'll see you next time when we report from our first long vacation trip. Take care.